Hi everyone, my name is Colin Ravenscroft and I work on the design for service and repair team here at Microsoft. We're really excited to be offering spare parts to keep you up and running on your favorite controller, and today I'll be running you through the repair process for our Xbox wireless controller that comes with the Xbox Series console. I'm going to be doing a full teardown and reassembly for you here, but a full set of written instructions will also be available in our service guides posted up on the Xbox support site at support.xbox.com. Now, you're going to need a couple simple tools to complete the repair on your controller. First off, you're going to need a plastic pry tool and a TR8 Torx security screwdriver, also sometimes called a Torx tamper-proof bit, to get into the device. After that, a standard Torx T6 screwdriver will get you the rest of the way, though a pair of tweezers will be helpful. The first step is going to be prying off the top case so that we can get to the screws underneath. This does require a bit of force, so always keep in mind that the tool may slip. Always push away from your body and away from your hands to avoid hurting yourself if you do slip. So we'll start by flipping over the controller. And I like to pull the trigger and insert the flat part of your pry tool into this little gap here. You're going to work down this edge, looking for those snaps to release. Don't be shy about this. We'll repeat on the other side. Once we have a bit of separation here, we're just going to pry the rest off with our hands. Again, don't be too shy about it. We made the snaps nice and strong. After that, we'll remove the battery cover. We'll start taking out our screws. First, you're going to need your TR8 security bit. There is one hidden screw under the label here. You can press down on the label to feel the indentation where the screw is, and then just go straight through with your tool. There will be 2 more screws on each side. The controller will come out of the back case as well. Next, we're going to remove the bumpers. Pry this little tab here on both sides, and then just pull it off. The bumpers themselves have a little tab here to push out to the side, and they will unclip. And go ahead and flip the controller over. First thing we'll do is remove the trigger motors, 1 screw on each side. And then swing the trigger caps off. Next, we will remove the connections between the 2 PCBAs. Lift up on those connectors and pull it out of the slot. Then flip the board over. We're going to pull the motor cables out all the way, and then both sides. At this point, we can also remove the D-pad retainer. We'll remove the rumble motors next, and these have a clip that you need to undo as you're pulling them out. Careful not to pull on the wires too hard. And then 2 more screws here before we pull the main PCBA out. And then there's a connector in the center that'll come out as you pop it off. Pick up the motors as you pick up the PCBA to avoid overstressing. Lastly, we're going to pull the I/O PCBA out with the last 6 screws, and that'll give us access to the buttons. And then your buttons will all just fall out. And that'll be the full disassembly for the controller. At this point, we can replace whatever replacement parts we're in here to do, and we'll get back to assembly. We'll start with putting the buttons back in. They will only go in one way, and they will only go in the slot that they belong in. They're all keyed nicely. They do have a habit of falling out on you, so keep them together until you get a screw into this I/O PCBA. And the audio jack goes in with the pins up. And we'll grab our main PCBA. Grab it by the motors again to avoid stressing the wires. And place this straight down. Before clicking into place, make sure your cables are routed. Click the connector into place there. We'll go ahead and click the rumble motors in. Sometimes you need to get that clip a little bit out of the way first. Next, we will do our trigger motors. Flip it over. The wire should be routing towards the inside of the controller. I'm gonna hold that roughly in place while we get the cap installed. You're gonna wanna kind of half pull the trigger for this step. Do the right motor the same way. Now we're gonna go ahead and route the wires for those trigger motors. So pull the trigger all the way down and make sure there's a little bit of slack still left here, and then start routing that wire through the channel that we pulled it out from. And then use your plastic pry bar to stuff it under the little clips that we have here for routing. And the last clip on the side there. Again, check your work, make sure you have a little bit of wire relaxed there, and you have some extra on the end there. We'll repeat for the left side. Sure you have some slack. Push the wires all the way down in that channel. And the last snap there. And again, check that your triggers are working properly. Okay. With that, we can install the D-pad again, as well as the retaining bracket. Snaps in on the bottom. Make sure that works again as well. Next, we're going to put our last two screws in for the main PCBA. That's the last of our small screws here. You can go ahead and put your thumbsticks back on, as well as the shoulder buttons. Pull the triggers down and you snap these into place. Insert the bottom of this faceplate into the bottom, and then snap the top into place. Okay, next we're gonna start assembling into the case. The only tricky part about this is making sure that the battery tabs here go through the holes in the bottom case. And pull the triggers as you insert into the case. Verify that those tabs came through. So now we have all 4 battery tabs visible and our triggers are working. So that's a good sign. And we'll get the top case back on. Now we can reassemble. I like to do the center screw here first because that's going to be already in place and it keeps the controller together. Then we can go ahead and do the rest. The grips are just going to snap right back in. And that'll be it. Pop in some batteries and jump right back in with your freshly repaired controller.